Yeah, thank you.
So
I hope my screen is visible.
yeah, it is.
So this is a presentation that I've been doing in a few occasions, which is more generic to the concept of what does it take to tokenize real world assets, and real estate being one of the largest pies of real world assets that obviously has not been digitized yet. And if you digitize and then tokenize, then what does it take to do that? So it's more generic about what will it take, and then I will be happy to go ahead and talk about RealX as well. Some background, the times are changing with changing times. The whole industry around asset management, wealth management is changing. There are new assets, there are new platforms, there are new strategies, there are new ways of deploying capital, there are new exchanges. And I think it was very incumbent upon time that real estate, being the biggest of the asset class in anybody's portfolio, also came around and kind of change. I mean, we saw some change in the way real estate is invested upon. So, and that is happening with fractional ownership of real estate coming in. I am co-founder of RealX. What we are doing at RealX is enabling you to, as an investor, to buy, hold, and sell, fractional ownership in properties. You essentially by becoming co-owners in the property, and we do it through legitimate means possible today. Now, coming back, so what is the big opportunity overall? Uh, Tokenization, as we have seen in the last 2 odd years, has taken up big time, and we have seen even memes being tokenized, even photos being tokenized, some genuine, some just fake or just for fun. However, what has been established is that there is an appetite for such digital assets, and if we could ever come around where traditional investment instruments and traditional assets could be digitized and presented in the form that tokens represent, I think there is a huge appetite of merging of the what is called TradFi and DeFi world. And in there, what I call is the holy grail is real estate tokenization, and that is what RealX is working on. What is digitization of real world asset? Essentially what it means is you create a token which has a linking with the real asset. It has the linking may be by means of the rights over certain income stream of the asset, the rights over some IP of the asset, or or direct ownership of the asset. So that is what we mean when we talk about digitization of real world asset. What are we talking about in terms of market? The global NFT market was 338 million in 2020, and it zoomed to 41 billion in 2021. So by the way, before I proceed, one of the things that you would have noticed is, and you would have seen somebody coming from Strata also and talking, that we do belong to the fractional ownership sector, but we are in no way doing it the way almost all our peers here are going about doing it. So almost all our peers essentially create an SPV company and house the asset in the SPV company, and then issue securities of the SPV company. We, from the word go, did not want to do that. It has taken us a long amount of time to do our research and figure out a way such that investors in the real estate assets do not get do not have to have a legal ownership or ownership incidents on a intermediate vehicle. So what we offer is a direct co-ownership over which has direct ownership or direct co-ownership rights whenever we tokenize of the real asset. and there is no intermediary vehicle in between. This happens through a elaborate set of arrangement, and the framework has had to be created, etc. And that all work was done by RealX. In some sense, it's a pioneering work, and one of its kind in the world. Coming back to the presentation here, what does it take to create digital assets from real world assets? First, there are 4 or 5 steps involved. First step is asset verification. So even at RealX, when we take an asset, we do verify the authenticity of the asset and things like that. Then there is the asset has to be sold, so it has to be fully subscribed onto the platform. Once the sale process is through, that's when we go to the real changes happen on the ground. The asset custody has to be transferred, in our case through a registered sale deed. The asset custody has to be transferred to the custodian of the asset, and thereafter the tokens will be generated or minted and issued into the wallets of the owners, of whomsoever has invested. Beyond that, there are two things that will happen in parallel. One is the asset operations and maintenance, which has its own set of ecosystem players. The reason why I'm not going in detail in this is if 15 minutes will be too short, so I decided to keep it more generic this time. And aside of, so on the asset side, there is asset operations and maintenance, and on the ownership side, the token holders or the owners can exchange hands on the secondary markets or the exchanges. What are the key challenges of doing something like that? Existing laws. Now, for example, for us it took 2.5 years to design the whole architecture within the existing laws. Can it be still better? Yes, it can be. If the laws are improved, then it definitely can be better. To give you an example, we had not issued tokens yet. What we had done was so far legally established co-ownership of the properties through the registry system, and their systems prevail as they prevail today, and we're able to record such co-ownerships on blockchain. Now, why did we not tokenize yet? Because we didn't know the real government and the tax position on on the tokens as yet, and we didn't want our investors to be kind of investigated and them having to answer tougher questions where the answers were unclear. Now, having said that, few days back, the government came out with a clarification that NFTs issued, such NFTs which have a legal basis, which represent ownership of a real asset, will not be treated on par with the crypto tokens. So that clarification has kind of paved the way for us to now focus our attention and take the next step, which is tokenize the records that we already had on blockchain. So that is where we are. Number 2 is service provider ecosystem. When I say service provider ecosystem, it means ecosystem of custodians, ecosystem in this case our properties are managed by property managers, or asset managers as we call them. The whole ecosystem of such providers need to evolve for such for real world tokenization to come about. The third and very interesting one is market acceptance. To tell you the truth, it has been a difficult journey for us to go and talk to even some of the most savvy developers, because they all have reputation risk, and they all refer the whole RealX model to their legal teams. Almost everywhere we went, whether it is a wealth management firm, whether it is some significant investor, whether it is a developer, the market acceptance took way longer for us. Why? Because this was something new, it has never been done before, and everyone had to kind of validate it for themselves before they could tie up with us. I'm happy to say that almost everywhere we kind of cleared it. but that market acceptance takes time if you're doing something very different and very disruptive. And number 4 is technology evolution and ecosystem. Why I say that is that was another reason why we had not yet tokenized, because RealX is all about real world incomes and asset ownerships, etc. So the biggest hurdle in that we were facing was the gas fees. So if we tokenize into any ecosystem, whether it is Ethereum or someone else, the gas fees itself was prohibitively difficult to assess, and that would have taken away a lot of our investor returns. That is one reason why we were looking at the whole technology space to kind of evolve. So even in the level 2 systems like Polygon, etc., they are still evolving to a point where until we are not convinced that they would remain stable, and the solutions that we launch on their platforms will not erode my customers returns significantly, we have a lot of reservations to signing up for any technology. So that is another thing that has to evolve and come around. So I give you a ringside view of what RealX is. What are we overall doing? We are a digital investment platform for ownerships in high yield, high return properties. We digitize property ownership legally and record such co-ownerships on our blockchain technology called blockchain. It has taken us a lot of insights from finance, legal, technology, and real estate to build something like this. So this is what I had in mind. I didn't know that we wouldn't have audience talking, so I thought there would be some space for me to engage, but I'm done otherwise.